motherfuckers was just sitting around, my nigga. Like everything was good, man. You know what I'm talking about? And motherfuckers was getting shot in the hood while they was doing this bullshit, you know what I mean? They doing all this bullshit, you know what I mean? Talking about it's for the community, but it's really for the white folks, you know what I mean? And motherfuckers is getting shot. Now they got hella motherfucking cars and shit coming, you know what I mean? This Hunters Point, California, you know what I'm talking about? This is Hunters Point, California, you know what I'm talking about? This ain't San Francisco.
Now who he gon' get and what he gon' do? Run up on me if you want to. Hot damn pressing his homies. Done up in front of his mom.
Man, my childhood was rough, man. I, grew up in Hunters Point in San Francisco, California, which is a very poverty-ridden spot in the city. It's where most African-American people live in San Francisco. Constant violence. It's a spot that never sleeps, and it's a really rough environment. And to escape from that is like, I say maybe 2 out of every 10 black males escape from Hunters Point and escape from the city of San Francisco. And just a rough childhood. A bulk of my early life was in the hills of Hunters Point, in the gutter, with nothing, watching friends get killed and murdered. And it's one of those things where you're extremely blessed to get out of that. And it's really cool to be able to talk about it now, rather than be in freaking cemetery in Daly City, California, with the rest of the friends and family members that are out there.
Yeah. Me, myself, I grew up in the same neighborhood as Gamble, Bayview, Hunters Point, from elementary school all the way through high school, stayed in that same area. And like Gamble said, it's a lot of poverty, man. A lot of poverty, a lot of crime, a lot of police brutality, a lot of black on black crime, brothers killing each other, things like that. And me personally, like my childhood, I grew up in the projects, luckily, I was fortunate enough to have both my parents. I got a lot of homeboys, a lot of homegirls, a lot of family members, a lot of close friends that, they pops wasn't around or their moms wasn't around. They was raised by their grandparents, and they never really had, nothing stable from both parents, you know what I mean? I'm very blessed, and I was fortunate to, have both parents raise me, into who I am.
That's something that that a lot of kids from that area do not have. Is the whole two-parent thing. I grew up. I've seen both sides of life. I've had wealth, and I've been extremely poor. Starting out, I grew up with my pops and a bunch of my siblings and step-siblings in a house in Hunters Point. Got separated from them, ended up living with different, I've lived in different foster care programs and group homes, and then there was the adoption. And my father, well, the man who I call my father now was very successful. And so I got an opportunity to see both sides of life. I got to be extremely poor to middle class, and then to live like a rich teen lives now. My adopted dad, my adopted father was drafted to the San Diego Chargers in 1988. And he played professional football from 88 to 97. He ended up injuring his left knee. Completely blew his knee out. But the relationship that I had with my dad, and I call him my dad because he was more of a father to me than my actual father was. And it's an unfortunate case, because I do love my father. I love everything about my father. But then there's those things that I wish he would have done that my adopted father, Tony, did. And we had an instant connection. We loved the game of football, and he taught me how to just be a man and excuse me. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. There's not much that I can't say about him. But Pops, if you see this, Tony, I love you, man.
You got a wonderful son right here.
I can't count the amount of cardboard wrestling belts that myself and my brother would make. Right. And I'd take them joints to school, and like the people that were in higher grades than me would make fun of me. Mind you, growing up, I had really bad ADHD. So I was placed in special education classes and all of this stuff, and I had to learn at a slower rate than everybody else. So that didn't make it any better for me. But I would come to school, my cardboard wrestling belts, and I would wear them joints, man, and get picked on and bullied all the time. People would rip my cardboard belts up, and I'd have to put like electrical tape on them, and they'd be like in the center of the belt. So I had to freaking tape the center of the belt and be walking around, and my design that was on my belt was ruined. I'm like, man.
I was in preschool. My parents came to my school. They talked to the teachers, whatever, brought a birthday cake. They wanted me to celebrate my birthday with all my classmates. We having fun, whatever. It's time to open presents. That first gift I opened was a freaking wrestling ring with action figures. Oh man,
I remember those.
Blew my mind. I got memories of just before there was wrestling buddies. I had a wrestling buddy, but before that,
the ones with the cotton.
Yes, yeah. Before those, man, I was wrestling with a Big Bird doll, Sesame Street Big Bird doll. No joke, I swear, man. And I freaking loved it, man. Growing up, when I hit elementary school, man, the late 90s, when wrestling was really popping, really cracking. Oh man, listen, if you show up on Tuesday morning and you didn't watch Raw, don't even come to school, bruh.
Stay at home.
Just stay at home.
Stay in class at recess time, bruh. Don't come out at lunch. Stay away, because we're gonna dog you for not knowing what happened on Raw Monday night.
Don't try to hop in the conversation if you ain't watch Raw Monday night. You know what I mean?
Can't.
And
disassociate yourself.
It's just
disassociate yourself.
Growing up, I would have never, ever imagined 6-7 months into doing this, capturing gold. Never in my wildest dreams.
It helps you appreciate what you have.
Definitely.
Now, it's like what you had. It really wasn't yours. It was more so like your parents' kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when you get your own, you like, man, moms and pops pretty much showed me how to take care of myself as a kid and take care of my finances now. And today, I still get worried when I don't cash my rent check in. It's like, I know I haven't, but it's like, man, I need to pay my rent. Otherwise, I ain't gonna have nowhere to lay my head. So I'm with you on that, bro. Like Pops, he like, man, like he wasn't the best dad, and I'm speaking on my real father. He wasn't the best father, but that dude's ability to teach myself and my older brother how to take care of ourselves as men, like I'll never forget that stuff. Man, my first job, I used to work for a gentleman by the name of Mr. Brown, and he ran this program called Inner City Youth, ICU. My first job was picking up trash, fixing houses, sweeping out corner stores, whatever he could come up with for us to make some sort of profit or some sort of dollar for the work that we did it. Paint, whatever. And that's where I actually learned and developed a full understanding of what it is to use your hands to make a profit. If you got hands and you're not working, something's wrong.
I would go to work with my pops. He worked for the San Francisco Housing Authority as a journeyman. Basically, what he did was picked up trash in the projects, cut the grass in the projects, you know, trim the weeds in the projects. Everything is in the projects, you know, and when you work for San Francisco Housing Authority. So he would bring me to work with him, and, you know, I would help him clean up and stuff, and whatever recyclables we would find, we would gather them all up, cash them in, and he would give me the profits, you know. And that right there, I was probably like 11 or 12 or something like that, you know, learning just the value of $1 through recycling, you know. Cats don't recycle in the hood. Cats don't do that, you know what I mean? So I learned very early the value of a dime, a nickel, you know what I mean? My first real job, I worked for San Francisco Conservation Corps. I was 13 years old, and it was kind of like a you know, community outreach / you know, schooling type deal where we would go out, we would, you know, clean up the community, pick up trash. We would do murals on, you know, walls that were filled with graffiti and stuff like that. You know, we would do stuff like that in the streets, but yet we would have class time where we would do, you know, homework and, you know, go over all kind of different subjects of schooling and whatnot. And at the end of the summer, we would get a stipend, you know. And there's a funny and interesting story about that. My very first job, 13 years old, I'm working over the summer. Summer's what, 2 months, 8 weeks, and I'm working, and at the end of the summer, I get a $500 stipend. 13 years old, $500. Man, I'm rich, bro. Right?
Hey, coming up on some shoes, bro.
But you know what? I didn't have none of that. You know what my pops did? He was like, oh, you got $500?
You have to pay rent or something.
You either helping with the freaking bills, or you gonna buy your own school clothes, your own school shoes, your own school supplies, and, you know, I'm gonna get you ready for
the real world.
The real world, you know. And I learned that at 13 years old, and it has taken me so far in my life.
Yeah.
You know, just learning how to be responsible with my money, and, you know, learning how to prioritize and making sure I'm handling my business.
Starting training so many months ago to being where we are right now, I'm still like, nah, this ain't real. This is not a reality, you know. But you see stuff on Facebook or you see stuff on Instagram, and you just like, hey, that's us right there. We really did this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still mind blowing. I still don't believe it. You know, but I look down and you see the strap, and you're like,
we did that, bro.
We really got these things, bro. Like,
but, you know, this is what we train for.
Yeah.
This is what we work hard for. This is why we go to the gym. This is why we run miles. This is why we, you know, we put miles on our shoes, and, you know, we put weight on our backs.
This is why we sacrifice sleep, time with our wives, time with our family. This is why we do this.
Big Duke has been eliminated!
when did we decide that we wanted to become professional wrestlers? We this guy, he calls me one Friday evening. He says, "Hey, bruh, you want to go see SoCal Pro?" And I was like, "What's SoCal Pro?" He was like, "Bruh, it's a wrestling thing down here, man. We can go check out a show." I was like, "All right." So we ended up going to this show. It was me, Jew, and did your brother go with us?
My brother, yeah.
So me, Jew, and his brother went with us, and we're sitting in the second row of this show. And the show was just, it was a good show. It was a good show. And at the end of the show, we both just kind of looked at each other and was like, "Bro, we should do this. We've been talking about doing this for like
A minute.
We've been talking about doing this our whole lives. Like, okay, let's see how we sign up." So Tommy was still ringside as fans were leaving. And we walked up to Tommy and we were like, "Hey, Tommy, how do we get into SoCal Pro? How do we get into becoming a wrestler?" And he was like, "Well, I'll tell you right now, you guys look like you can be wrestlers." And we was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you guys look pretty athletic." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, all you gotta do is just talk to Jeff." I was like, "Well, who's Jeff?" And he's like, "Where's he at? That guy right there with the, with the crazy hair, because he's sweating, he's moving a lot." I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." So we talked to him about it, and he was telling us about the training and the trainers and all the different wrestlers a part of SoCal Pro that actually put their time in to train new guys and new young ladies that come in to become wrestlers. And then we talked to Jeff, and Jeff was like, "Yeah, you guys want to sign up? Go ahead and sign up. Just come to one of the classes and we'll go from there." And it was kind of funny because Jeff had this look on his face like, "You guys are coming," And it wasn't like a mean thing, but he was like, when people say they're going to come and do something, most people don't. And nowadays, word of mouth is like, it means absolutely nothing, So we understood where he was coming from. We was like, "No, we gonna be there." So we showed up the following week. We were there in training for the first night, and he was like, "Hey guys," and he took us, told us about the whole training process and everything. And we were like, "We're sold. We're in. Let's do this." Next thing you know, here we are.
I remember when I first moved to San Diego in 2010, and I was just working part-time. I had a lot of free time on my hand. Wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was looking for full-time work, looking to, continue going to school maybe. What do I want to do? What do I do? I look up SoCal Pro. I find a school 20 minutes from where I live, prime location, but I wasn't stable enough to pursue that, you know what I mean? And wrestling is something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to just get in the ring, see what it feels like, see what the ropes feel like, see if what I'm watching on TV my whole life, I want to feel what that's like, you know what I mean? All right, I'm engaged to my fiance right now. We finna get married. I'm saving up for this wedding. Do I, put all my focus and priority towards that, or do I chase this dream? What do I do? Call my brother, "Hey bro, what you think I should do?" "Hey moms, pops, what y'all think I should do?" You know what? I went and talked to my fiance, and I'm like, "Babe, look, the homie Gamble, we really trying to do this. He want to do this, but deep down, I want to put this on pause until we straight. I want to make sure we stable." And you know what she told me? She said, "F that. Go chase do that. I got your back 100%. And ever since then, my feet been stable right here at SoCal Pro.
I can tell you right now, any woman that is willing to say to you, "Chase your dream,"
Lock it down.
Listen,
Quick.
Put a ring on it, put a house on it, put a car on it, put some clothes on it, feed it food. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean it like, but feed that woman food. Like, give her everything you got. Because that right there, just that one little thing right there can make a man say, "Oh my God, that's you it.
Yeah.
You are it." I know me personally, when I get into the ring, I wrestle for that family that sit in front row, that comes to see us every show, that comes to spend their hard-earned dollar to see us perform. I wrestle for my brothers. I wrestle for my family members. I wrestle for this guy. I wrestle for my wife. I wrestle for the love that I have for the business of professional wrestling. So it's more than just saying I wrestle for SoCal Pro. I wrestle for David Henderson. I wrestle for David Anthony Henderson. That's who I wrestle for. I wrestle for Dylan.
I fight for my boy DIZZ, one of my good friends. You know, he committed suicide early in life because he was bullied.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't strong enough to, you know, take that negative and flip it on him and turn it into a positive, you know. So I take all of that, you know, memories and, you know, just sorrow and you know, just hurt and pain. I take all of that and that's why I fight. You know, that's why my fist is taped. That's why I got DIZZ wrapped around my arm every match.
Yeah.
Because it's deeper than just wrestling, you know what I mean?
Much deeper.
That's what I fight for. I fight for DIZZ. I fight for my wife. I fight for me. I fight for Gamble. And I fight for the fans.
What I want to be remembered for, I want my kids, when I'm gone, I want my kids to look up and say that I had the absolute best father that there ever was. And nobody can ever do better than him. Nobody can ever love me better than my father. I want my kids to say that. I want them to know that I gave everything I could to take care of them and to give them the best in life, to give them what I did not have.
I would like to be remembered as the one who was always true to himself. I've always been true to me. No matter how outlandish or unpopular or looked down upon it is, I've always been true to me, you know? And that's what I want to be remembered for. Like, that cat Jew, that cat Jew DIZZ, he's different.
Yeah.
You know? He's different. He never cared about what people think.
We don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. Nigga, Trick Daddy. You got it, Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know. Let me know. What the fuck, my nigga? Let's go. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it.
I was like, you know, first things first, Stone Cold don't give a damn about what you say, what you're doing. You better get your ass out of here right now. Where the hell's Jew? Hey, I see your ass. Here's the bottom line, you understand? You pay close attention, because here's what I'm going to do. We'll start on this side of the damn gym. I'm going to whip your ass in that corner, take you over to that corner, whip your ass there, take you down to another corner, whip your ass in that corner. Then we'll make our way outside to the football field. I'll whip your ass out there. Then we'll go outside in front of the damn school. I'll whip your ass in front of a muni bus, drag you back into the damn school, whip your ass in front of everybody, whip your ass in front of your girlfriend, whip your ass in front of your teachers. What? Whip your what? I ain't done yet, not by a long shot. You better shut your damn mouth. Whoop your ass in front of everybody on the football team. Whoop your what? We can keep going.
Bruh.
This ain't what?